All right. You guys hear all that? The dogs are off the chain this morning. Okay, so I've got to. That one's volume is turned off. Oh my goodness. This one is not. There. That's got that. Good morning. Happy New Year. Food products in the house. Tom is in the house. Happy Monday. We've got a few people watching on YouTube. Wilson. He's just like barging in. He gets tired of playing and then just comes barging in the door. Okay, so I've got that live chat up. Let me get this one. Where is this one? Yeah, that should be up too. Streaming. One in, well, I don't see the one that's supposed to be in the group, but okay. It's on my page. It's on YouTube. We're good. We'll just do that. Tom says, gotta keep, ooh. He says, gotta keep moving in the eBay shop. It's 38 degrees. Ooh. Yeah, that's, I hope you're wearing a hat and all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry, it's Monday. I don't do well on Mondays. Mondays I am recuperating from not having the house to myself for the weekend. So usually Monday mornings is like, oh, I got the house back and that sort of thing. But I did get up this morning. I've been up actually for quite a while. I've been awake since before 3 o'clock a.m. and got up like around 5 or so and jumped in the shower. And I don't know if you guys have tried this or not, but one of the things that I do, it makes me feel better. It's like it helps my back and stretching and stuff like that. Is to stretch while I'm in the shower. So I highly suggest it, especially if it's first thing in the morning, right after you've gotten out of bed. A lot of times your back will feel really stiff. And so, getting in the shower and kind of pulling your shoulders back and letting the hot water, just help warm up your muscles and loosen everything up. And then this morning, I felt like my back needed to curve out more. So I was doing more of like I would kind of squat like if like Wilson. Now you guys know why the dogs are all over the healthy chat pictures, because they're so much a part of everything that I do. But like if a skier was getting ready to ski down the slope and he's kind of in not a full squat, but just kind of hunched, kind of rounded, like with the poles, and the back is kind of rounded, and the knees are bent, and you're kind of leaning forward. And I did that and kind of rolled a little bit forward, and then would stretch backwards And then just that movement forward and back a few times with the hot water just really, really helped loosen things up. I did finally get my supplements on Friday, and I started taking the one that is for the gut enzyme, and I am already thrilled with it. Oh my goodness. I feel so much better. And I've only been taking it since Friday afternoon. Like I started taking it Friday after 5. So I took it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this morning, and I am already very, very happy with the results that I'm getting. I still tried to use the other thing that turns your sugars into fiber. Oh my goodness, these boys. Ha, shut the door on them. Absolutely shut the door on them. Hi, Ina. um, so yeah, I started those, but like I said, I was still taking, I still took a couple of the other supplement, the one that turns the sugar into fiber. And I feel like once the gut enzyme helps me get my guts back to, in order and a much better place, I think the other thing will be fine. It's just right now, it kind of sends me to the bathroom a little too much, but that's okay. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with what's going on. It is very cold outside, and I do feel much better, but I do still have a little bit of a cough. But all my medicine is like I have one more day of prednisone, and then everything is complete. I finished the Z pack. You can hear my voice is still a little scratchy, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I am done and it's good and it's over. But like I said, I still have a little bit of a cough and a little bit of scratch. So I'm not gonna go walk in the in the cold. I think I will go get on the treadmill a little bit later and do 10-15 minutes or so of that. I don't want to overdo. I want to build my health back up. I am working on drinking more. I had a couple of different things around the house that was supposed to help with hydration, and I tried both of them this morning and I didn't care for either one of them. So I will go back to my lemon and sole water and just do that for hydration to help me with hydration, and just, drink the water. I just got to drink the water. That's really all there is to it. All right. So we have 5 people watching in YouTube land. We've got, another one or I don't know how many in on my Facebook page. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and let me know what your questions are. I am, if you have already signed up with me to get your taxes done, anybody that didn't already have a Dropbox now has one. Fuse products, 23 degrees on our end. Yeah, you're near me. And you drink daily lemon water too. That's great. I'm not great about drinking it daily, but I much prefer it over regular just plain water. And then I have the sole water, which is you take salt blocks and you put it in a jar, and it ends up being like salt water, but it's what's it called? It's like the really good salt. It's the better salt. So I add a little bit of that to my water too. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you on here. So if you guys have any questions, bookkeeping, taxes, health, what are you doing? What are you doing to better yourself? What, it doesn't matter what category it's in. This is about, just being healthy across the board, healthy finances, healthy business. Tom says, where do I go to schedule getting my taxes done with you? Okay, I have a link. 1 second, I will grab the link and post that in the chat. So there's the link to get taxes done with me. There's a $50 deposit, so long as you hold up your end of the bargain and get everything in by the date that you pick, then the $50 will go towards your fees. So if you don't, then I get to keep the 50 and you have to reschedule. All right, I gotta keep everybody flowing, and I want to I'm doing everything that I can to make sure everybody is ready and prepared when their date gets here. So Fuse products, you haven't gotten an email yet for 2023. So Juju. You already did, I can't remember. But if you already, well, I didn't do your taxes last year. I went over them with you. So you wouldn't have had a folder and you haven't signed up for me to do them this year. I'm not doing the with you this year. If you want to do them completely yourself and have me look over them before you submit them, I will do that just as part of a consultation. Otherwise, you send me all your stuff and I just do them. So if you want me to do them, that's what that link is about, to get them done. If you want to set up a consultation to make sure that everything is ready, or to have me look over them, I will. Oh, for the workbook, I sent out an email and I posted all over the place that there's an email that came out on the 16th. Hold on, let me look at what the name of it is again. It says, verify your email to access your courses. It comes from my name, Cheryl Miller. So it comes from me. It says, verify your email to access your courses. It says it's in reference to ThriveCart, and that's the new platform. That's where the everything is now. So if you have already purchased a workbook from me, then you can look for that email and go log in, and then you'll be able to get all the past workbook and the 2024 workbook. Let's see. So I've had a bunch of questions here recently about ending the year, and there's really no different way of ending the year, then you should be doing your bookkeeping every other month of the year. It's just a matter of, once the new month rolls around, you get all of your expenses into your bookkeeping. If that's my workbook or something else, whatever you have chosen to use, you just get all your expenses in there, you get all your income in there, and get all the totals done. So if you're using my workbook, it's get all the expenses in there, get your income in there, and then refresh the pivot table, and then you will be ready for your taxes. Oh, and home office expenses. Make sure that all your home office expenses are up to date through December. But if you've been doing that every month, like I teach you to do, then it should have only been December, and nothing should have been different than any of the rest of the months for the year. If you have not been doing that, then you need to get all of that done for the year, and then you will be ready to pass your stuff off to whomever is going to do your taxes. Just remember, don't send them the whole file. Send them a PDF, unless it's me. Send them a PDF of the total snapshot page or the and the home office expense tab, and they will have all of that portion that they need. Then you still need to give them 1099s, W-2s, any mortgage paperwork, and so on and so forth. I posted in like almost in all the groups that I am part of, not all, but a bunch of them. I posted a memory jogger the other day of things that you should remember to, be pulling out to look for, to give to whomever is going to prepare your taxes. If that's you, then it's a memory jogger for you to use to do that with. To the people that are going to have their taxes done with me, I will be dropping a checklist in the Dropbox. It'll be in there by the end of the month. Hopefully I can get that done within the next couple of days, but the people that are scheduled to be done the first week of February, you will definitely have it within the next couple of days. And I figure once I have it completed and I start dropping it, everybody will have it in their Dropbox. What else? Do we have any questions? So categories. All of the categories are on the Schedule C. I talk about them all the time. If you're not watching my, and I'm going to preface this with, I'm saying this with love. I love you. I do. I want the best for you. If you're watching me, then I am on your team. I want the best for you. And there's going to be some, I'm just going to be blunt with y'all. I'm going to tell you like it is, and you got to do the work. All right. I can't do the work for you. I've been putting out the content, and if you can't watch the content, please don't show up in my messengers asking me questions. All right. I'm doing lives 5 days a week now for anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes. Friday was 45 minutes, over 45 minutes long. And then I have other lives that I do every week. So if you're in one of the reseller groups, then, you catch me every 2 weeks. If you're in my Facebook group, you can ask me questions in there. If you're in my paid membership group, That's a little bit different, but you get a weekly call with me, right? So, please respect my time and watch the content, show up for the content, ask me the questions while I'm here with you. And if you can't do that, then I don't know what to tell you. Schedule a consultation. This time with me is free, right? It's not costing you anything. So I appreciate you. I love you. I'm Gen X. I didn't put up with my kids doing it. I am definitely not going to put up with anybody else doing it. All right? All right. Hello. I am too scared to try to pronounce your name. Happy Monday. I want to try it, but I'm so worried that I'm going to butcher it. Adiame, Adiame, Adiame. Okay, Adiame. Yay. Nice to have you. Perfect. Yay, I got it. Welcome. Glad to have you. Happy Monday. Anybody have any questions? All right, so man, I see my video going over here and it's lagging a little bit. I'm really moving my hands a lot this morning. All right, Fuse Products, do me a favor, shoot me a message with your email and I will look it up. I mean, I know I have it, but help a girl out. The thing is, a lot of times you guys use one email for like I've got like 12 different email addresses, right? So I legitimately think that I've used a particular one and then that's not the one that I ended up using. So I'm checking and the one that I didn't, that I was like, there's no way I used that one. I never check it, and then that's the one that ends up being. So check your spam folder, do a search. I mean, if you have not gotten an email from me and you have bought from me from Gumroad, then, or prior to Gumroad, if you bought prior to Gumroad, you should have already migrated to Gumroad 2 years ago. Okay. If you have been on Gumroad, I attempted to pull everybody's name off of Gumroad and email address and put them in the new system. There very well may have been some glitches and not everybody got moved over. It didn't seem like, it seemed like I was missing a few people, but it was too hard to tell. So those few people, we'll just do one at a time. And you'll just have to shoot me a message and let me know. Adiame, this is the only Zoom call I have today. So I'm on Zoom right now. If you want to jump into Zoom, that's fine. Me. here, there's the link. Let's see, what do I have this week? So today is the 22nd.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hey, Danny.
How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm sorry I keep missing your call and it's upsetting me because I really I need your help.
Okay.
Um, I did a lot of things that I went out, got the bank account that you mentioned last year, but I've sat on my hands and that's not a good thing. And I need to make 2024 better as far as if I'm going to do this right, I need to do it right ASAP.
Right.
My question to you, I have a few questions if I can ask, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So I opened up a bank account. I'm still paying everything out of my original eBay account, which is the account that all the money gets deposited to.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that basically since the beginning of 2023, which is when I started selling on eBay. But I was also working and receiving a check, so it was kind of both coming in at the same time. I have a
Right.
drawer full of receipts, and I need to do something for these taxes because my wife made over 170 and I didn't make a lot because I stay home with the kids and it was my first year doing eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't really a full-time thing. It was more of a kind of random purchases here and there that were to go out and buy and whatever I sold, whatever I didn't sell, I donated.
Okay.
So I need you to guide me and I would like to we're probably gonna hire you as our accountant for this year just because I think you're gonna do a better job than any accountant that doesn't understand the whole concept of eBay.
Okay.
Especially in my situation being that I didn't obviously do it properly in from the very beginning. So that I'm assuming you should be able to have a better understanding of how to help me get the best possible, return essentially, or the least amount of taxes paid.
Right.
Um, my thing what is the first, like, if you're in my position right now, what is the first thing I need to do um to move forward essentially and get ready for taxes for this year?
Okay. So you you got the new bank account, but you haven't set up any way of tracking your expenses yet, right? So you
I
haven't
haven't
bought my workbook or figured out
I,
some other way of.
no. I'm a part of the other group, um daily refinement, so I'm obviously there, and I just haven't been able to make the call because the call's at 1 o'clock and I have to pick up my child at 2, and I try, believe me, I try, but sometimes it's in the middle of the rush to get out of the house, and it's just hard to do that time. So I figured I kind of happened upon this call, so I'm glad I found you. So it's a sign. So I need to get this stuff done and get it going. I just don't know what direction is the best direction to take or where I should start. What should I start doing to start building and getting rid of the pile of stuff that I need to get done to make sure that 2024 is good, but also to make sure that 2023 doesn't kill me.
Okay, so first off, you need a method to do your bookkeeping. Whether you choose my workbook or you choose something else is up to you. But I've made my workbook very simple. It's cost effective because once you buy it, you never have to buy it again. It
Okay.
gets I update it every year. If you get it today, then for example, then 2023 is there and 2024 is there. So you would go grab the 2023 version and start entering all of those receipts into that so that we can get totals per
Okay,
um
perfect.
and then by the time you get all that stuff entered for 2023, you are going to be perfect at it and ready to pounce on 2024. So that would be the first thing. We have to get 2023's caught up so that you can concentrate on 2024. You're not that far into the year. You wouldn't have to start doing 2024's bookkeeping until February 1st anyway.
Okay. Okay.
So
I mean,
you've got
I haven't,
another 9 days.
okay. I really haven't purchased anything. I haven't gone shopping. I basically, I pulled all my items and I'm relisting everything. And that's basically been my way of doing and trying to sell. My sales have dropped exponentially from where they were, but I expected that to happen. I knew that would happen, and I'm okay with that right now. I just need to get organized because at the end of the day, if I'm not organized, it's just going to be it's more of a headache.
Right.
100% more of a headache.
Right before Christmas, I quit listing. I haven't listed since right before Christmas. And I've been ending, like, every couple of days I'll end some of my oldest listings and sell similar, go through, check prices. I might raise prices, I might lower prices. I'm gonna, maybe I need to screw with the title a little bit, whatever. Most of the things now I'm actually going back and raising prices on. And I mean, I'm still getting, my sales have dropped. Obviously, my sales have dropped, but they haven't dropped that much for the fact that I'm not listing anything. I'm still getting sales every single day.
No, and what you're doing is different from what I did. I had maybe like 400 items, and I pulled every single item. I just deleted every single, not deleted, but I basically, I basically removed every single item. I donated, I would say, a good amount because it just wasn't moving. And when I did the research on it, and when I did, actual research and saw that nothing was selling, or the sell through rate on that was anywhere from 6 months past, then I just said, you know what?
Hang on just a second, Danny.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about that. I noticed that the boys were awfully quiet. I was like, they're chewing on something they ain't supposed to be. All right, so you ended everything and decided to research each one before you decided to list it again.
That's correct.
Okay. I mean,
yeah, so
that's one way to do it.
yeah, I mean, it's I'll be honest, it didn't work out in a bad way. I mean, I've sold things that were just basically stale, which is great. And the items that are sitting now are about to be pulled again, and I'm basically just doing a cleaning of the store, and I want to start fresh. You know what I mean? Even if it means I just feel like I changed direction. I went to clothes, and then I've been sitting on those clothes that I purchased last year, and I haven't really listed them. But I think it was because I went all in, and I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? I should have done more research. I should have done more of that, and which is fine. I'll do the same thing with these items, and I'll work my way up on to increase the store items and such. But I do need to figure out, because my wife's salary is significantly higher. I need to figure out, make sure that I'm not going to be a hindrance on the taxes instead of being a positive. You know what I mean?
No, you're gonna be a positive.
Even the way I did my payments last year, because I heard that doing it the way I did it was a bad thing. Like where I was paying everything out of my
Okay.
business account.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand that, but you have receipts. So, and you have it stopped now, right? So we're gonna get all of that cleaned up. You didn't get rid of the receipts. You still have the receipts. You have proof. The fact that it's all in the same from the same bank account is not going to hurt you.
Okay, perfect. That's a good thing. That takes a load off my shoulders. So
Right. And you running the business, and it is probably once we get done with it, it's going to have been a loss, I'm sure. So that's actually going to reduce her income. So whatever she paid in for taxes on the 170
Mhm.
is going to be more than what she what needed to be paid in, because your loss is going to come off of her 170.
Got it. Makes sense.
Okay, so we just need to get your bookkeeping straight, and every possible deduction into the bookkeeping.
Okay.
Every possible expense that you've had gets in there. And I don't want you to not do your home office expense, because even though you won't probably need it for this year, it will roll forward to where you can use it for next year.
Makes sense.
All right.
Makes sense.
So,
Okay.
bottom line is, first step is getting all those receipts entered.
So okay, so I would purchase your worksheet.
Yes.
Okay. And that's on the link that I opened the link that you had posted on the YouTube. That you had posted a link a little while ago. It's to your main page, I guess, where you have all your different links.
Oh, the link
So,
tree?
uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
And I can get
Yeah,
it there, correct?
it's if you go on there, you want the one that says reseller workbook. Um, and once you make the purchase and go in where the download is, grab the 2023 one.
Okay.
And once 2023 is completely up to date, then you can go back and grab the 2024 one and get started on it.
Okay, perfect. All right. I will definitely do that today. I'll purchase it and then I'll get started on doing that. I have my mom leaving to Europe to live, so I have to help her with that this week. So,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, yeah. But so I'll get that done over the next couple of days and sit down and actually do it. Is there any specific like what do I do if I went to estate sales and they didn't provide or I didn't know better, right? I've never been one to grab receipts. I think a lot of people don't grab receipts, and I think it's just a habit. And it's kind of built in, and I should be getting every receipt possible. But if I went to an estate sale or garage sale or something to that effect, and they don't offer receipts, I know you've mentioned. I remember you saying something to the effect of always carry a notepad and write down what you're purchasing. Is that how you do it?
Right. So you can either grab one of those receipt books, or you could just grab a simple steno book or a little pocket notebook, whatever is the easiest for you that you're going to keep up with. And when you go to the bank and you pull out cash to go to the estate sale, then you're going to take that ATM receipt and attach it to the paper, or put it put it in the book, right?
To show that I'm using that cash for that.
Right. And so you keep that receipt there, so that say you take out $100, but you only spend 50. You're going to keep the running total of, I went to an estate sale, or say January 22nd, estate sale, Smith Street, 5 items, $10. January 18th, yard sale, Main Street, 40 items, $40. And
Okay.
until you get to the $100 or however much it was that you took out, and then you have to go get more cash.
Silly question. Is your worksheet available on it's on Excel, I'm assuming, no?
Yes.
So if I have Excel on my phone, I can technically open up a worksheet and just put it straight into my worksheet, correct?
Technically.
But I shouldn't do it that way. I need a
It's not
copy
that
like
you
a receipt.
shouldn't do that. I don't have an issue with you. If you can manage to do it,
I know. I see what you're saying. I got you.
then by all means go for it. But I can't. I've tried. I can't really navigate it, and I'm really good with Excel. I can't really navigate it on my phone. I can navigate it on the iPad, but I'm most comfortable with the computer. So whatever you're most comfortable with, if you feel comfortable with doing that from your phone, there's no reason you can't.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if you had to keep like an actual paper trail per se when it comes to receipts. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're going to keep every one of those receipts.
Okay. So I do have to make a receipt regardless, is what I'm saying. That's why I was asking. Can I track on my Excel
Oh,
sheet? That's what I was saying. Instead of having
I
to do
see
a
what
receipt,
you're saying.
like keep a running tally essentially of let's say, for example, if I wanted to do January, okay, I could kind of tally it on an Excel sheet, or should I just do a receipt? Is it just better to
So
do a receipt?
what you can do is in the workbook, there is an average cost of goods calculator. So what you could do is use that as or even write directly in your expenses, but in vendor, you're going to put cash, estate sale. It's already going to have the date. Or cash yard sale. You just want to the whole reason for writing it in the little book is to try and make sure that you're keeping track of, you're not spending cash that's not part of your business. You're not spending that cash on anything but stuff for your business. That's more the reason of keeping the little, if you want to keep track of it in the spreadsheet, you can do that.
Okay. Okay. I think you're right. I think it'd be ideal to do it like go to Home Depot or not Home Depot, I'm sorry, Office Depot, and get like a little receipt book, or even a little notebook saying, okay, I'm gonna go today to this garage sale. I spent this much at this garage sale, blah 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 blah, and such. So that way you could come home and then just all obviously input that and then put that with the receipt of your pulled, your cash that you pulled out.
Right. I had a little just one of those little pocket ones that flip over.
Hmm. I
I
know which
had
ones you're
one of
talking about.
those that I used. I had one I had the first thing I ever used was one of those little invoice books that had the
Okay.
carbon copy, and I didn't need the carbon copy, so I just wrote the thing, and I would staple my ATM receipt to it. And then the whole
Got it.
thing ended up in my envelope with my receipts for the year.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect.
so I mean, it was just a way for me to keep track, know where I went, so that, because those things you really have to do your due diligence about to prove that you did the thing, right? Because it is cash and you don't get a receipt from the people. Another place is if you decided to go do go do all the laundry at the laundromat. So, say maybe you bought a whole bunch of stuff and you wanted to get it all knocked out at one time. You go take cash out, but there's nothing else to prove that you spend it at the laundromat.
Okay.
So can I just put pants on? You just need to, put that in there that, $100 for laundry, whatever.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Just keep track of all your expenses that are business related.
Right.
Now, I'm just curious, like, I guess we could we could touch this subject once we get there, but I'm just curious, how is it that you go about showing for last year, for example, when I was paying my car, I was paying certain things that I had to pay because that's the only account I had, where I was paying what I've always paid all my expenses out of there, my credit cards, blah, 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 all that stuff. How does that get managed? Or like how do I get, is there going to be any negative impact as far as that's concerned? Because I was paying my my cell phone bill. I was paying credit cards. I was paying stuff that was, had to be paid through any my account, which I usually used. And I never switched it just because I had that account was always linked with eBay. And that was my
Right.
personal account, which I always used, because I was never really selling on eBay per se.
So mileage, you can use your receipts to get the mileage. You're not going to be tracking gas.
Right, because you're using mileage, correct?
Right. So no other auto expenses. Um,
So mileage covers gas, insurance, and all that stuff, correct?
right. Basically, right.
So insurance is not something you can claim because it's already covered in mileage. Got it.
It's
Got it.
not that it's already covered in mileage per se, but so you couldn't claim insurance. The only way that you can claim exact expenses is if you are only claiming exact expenses. So you can't do both. But then if you claim exact expenses, you still have to keep track of all of your mileage because you only get the percentage that you drove for business miles.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay. So anything that you spent on inventory, anything that you spent on shipping supplies, anything that you spent on business supplies, your home internet, 100% deductible. Your portion of the cell phone, 100% deductible. These things should be on your business, in your business expenses. Then you're going to see on the workbook, you're also going to see a home office page. The home office page, the home office deduction is going to be the things that it's not exclusive to that list. You need to make that list whatever you guys pay in your home. So electric, water, trash, whatever you guys pay in your home, not your cell phone, not the internet. Those should be under the regular business expenses. HOA, mortgage, security, grass cutting, pressure washing, pest control, any repairs or maintenance. If it was a major repair, then, or a major home improvement, then that would need to be, you'll see there's a section on the left-hand side for that. Yeah, just dig in and fill it out with all the receipts that you have. And then, if we need to, we can set up a consultation call for you to make sure that you have everything and what you may be missing. And if you are in my Facebook group, then I put out a memory jogger the other day. Well, I put it into all of the daily refinement, all of them. But I'm also going to be putting out a category checklist type thing. I'll put it out to all the tax clients, but I'm also going to drop it in all the groups too. So.
Okay. And what I guess the consultation would be a you and me kind of call, right? Not everybody else.
Right.
How much is that call?
It's $100 an hour.
$100 an hour. Okay. All right. And would that be a good call to do with you? I mean, how much do you typically charge? Say, for example, my wife, like I said, she's in the medical industry, and her taxes aren't difficult.
Right.
But it obviously, because of the fact that I'm doing the business, it's going to change the dynamics of, or not. Okay. So typically, what is your fee on? Because I know you put on there $50 upfront, but it doesn't really specify the amount that you charge. I know it's
Right.
dependent on complexity of
Right.
taxes.
A normal set of taxes where it's just, either everybody's W-2 or a W-2 with the Schedule C is going to be $350. So long as I don't have to do the extra work of adding all the stuff up and going through receipts and depending on how many extra schedules. So the way the 350 includes one schedule. which in this case would be the Schedule C. If there are other schedules that would be needed, then they would be an additional $100 per schedule.
Got it. Okay, perfect. All right. So so as long as I fill in everything, and obviously hopefully I do it correctly from the very beginning, what would you recommend? Like, as far as, I just, like I said, I just want to make sure that she doesn't get hit or dinged. I mean, with too much as far as taxes are concerned. From
She shouldn't be getting hit or dinged with anything.
Well,
Like
that's
I
our
said,
hope.
you should end up, your business is more than likely it's gonna be in the negative. And if your business is in the negative, so I'm just going to throw out some numbers, right?
Okay.
So let's say that your business ended up being $10,000 in the negative. She made $170,000. We're saying that she paid taxes in based on $170,000, right?
Okay.
So $170,000 minus your 10, now she only needed to pay taxes in on 160.
Okay. Makes sense. What if the, like, what would, okay, so what if I spent less? Like, for example, let's say I sold, I believe off the top of my head, I can't tell you exactly right now because I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe I sold close to 35,000 last year on eBay. And a big portion of it was positive because of the amount I spent. You know what I mean? Just off the top of my head, I could be wrong. You know, my numbers could be off. But what if I ended up showing I guess what I would say is a profit on eBay because of my spending, because my expenses were less
I
than
guarantee you that when
that.
we
It won't
get
be.
done, it won't be.
Okay, perfect. Listen, I'll take it. I mean, honestly, it's
Because
I believe you.
there's a lot of things you're not thinking about. I'm positive there's a lot of things you're not thinking about. So, for example, you grossed $35,000 on eBay last year, right?
Correct.
If you grossed $35,000 on eBay, are you taking into consideration the 40% of, $14,000 that you would have paid in fees, eBay fees?
I mean, to a certain extent, I think my number was closer to 38%, if I remember correctly. I've looked at it a little bit, but even then, yes. I mean, I am considering. I'm not saying I'm going to make a huge profit. I'm saying I may have profited some. See what I'm saying? That's the thing. So yeah, I see where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from.
So my point is, if you did 35,000, and we'll go back and we'll say it was 38%, so that's 13,300. So 35 minus 35 minus 13,300, so that leaves 21,700. And then you had inventory, you had shipping supplies, you had internet, you had cell phone, you have
Got you.
mileage, you have.
Got you. Yeah, there's a lot more expenses that I'm not considering or I'm not thinking about because it's everyday thing that you kind of don't think about when you're. I get you. I totally understand where you come from.
Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. So okay, so I need to purchase that, get on that, get that done. You did mention when you're doing the taxes, because we're gonna do our taxes in April. And I know you haven't put out that schedule yet, correct?
I'm not doing taxes in April.
You're not. Okay, so end of March, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll definitely check there and make sure I can get you end of March. I'll schedule.
I'm giving myself, so my birthday is April 10th. I'm giving myself a buffer for the first, week and a half of April to make sure that any stragglers are complete prior to my birthday, because by the time my birthday gets here, I'm taking off for the rest of the month.
No, I feel you totally. That's great. Okay, so then last possible day that I could schedule you in March is where I'll probably do.
Okay.
I mean, it's just that's, I mean, that's where we wanted to do it, not because of anything. It's just, but
Okay.
just in case, you know what I mean. There's a buffer or something.
Hello? Oh,
Sorry, I
yeah.
muted myself for some reason. Okay, so okay, perfect. So I have to. The first thing I need to do, based on what you're telling me, is get the worksheet, get that filled out. Is there a way for me to kind of briefly go to show you what I've done without having to book you for an hour? I mean, and just to make sure I'm doing it correctly is all.
Yeah. Yeah. Just shoot me a message. Get started. Watch the video, get started, start entering the stuff.
Okay.
Um, and then when you get, a bit of it in, and you don't have to do it in order.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be by date. I could just start
No,
inputting. Okay,
just
cool.
just grab a
Awesome.
receipt and put it in.
Okay.
Um, the only thing I really need you to worry about is expenses. I don't need you to worry about the cost of goods calculator. I don't need you to worry about putting the income in because that's going to be a 1099. I just need you to worry about the expenses and make sure that you go grab now the performance sales tab that is and then run it for all of last year and do a screenshot of that.
The
When I say
performance,
a screenshot,
the
it's just
performance
going to
tab,
be the
the performance tab you said?
performance sales tab.
Okay.
So go to performance sales, run it for last year, all of last year. And then the very top section there where it's going to have your gross, eBay collected sales tax, selling costs, and net. I need a screenshot of that. So it's just save a screenshot of that.
Okay,
And
perfect.
yep.
And
And
then does eBay send us anything, or Amazon send anything via email? And when do they send that out?
so let me check right quick. eBay usually, or the last couple of years, I got to do. I got the 1099 between the 21st and the 25th. So let me see if come on. Thank you.
But yeah, I kind of went crazy with the whole situation with the items because I figured, you know what, I just wasn't able to get out and shop, so I figured let me try this and see what happens. And it actually it hasn't been a bad thing. I mean, it's I've been able to sell things that I never thought, that just I wouldn't have thought would sell. So
Um, so 2023 is not yet available, at least
okay,
not on mine. I've gotten mine in the past. I've gotten it somewhere between the 21st and the 25th, but I don't have that many years
but
to
but do we get it? Do we get it by email, or do we have to go on
oh,
on the
it
website?
it's on the website. You go to payments and then taxes. And when you
Okay,
click on taxes, it brings you straight up to where your 1099K is shown.
okay, perfect, perfect.
So
Well,
if it says 2023, you don't have a Form 1099K for this tax year, doesn't mean that you don't have one. It means you don't have one yet.
makes sense. Okay, yeah, because it's anything over 20, right? Anything over 20,000 is what they're asking.
So the IRS held off on enforcing the platforms to send it for under 20,000, but that doesn't mean that the platforms won't send it for under 20,000 because the law is actually anything over 600.
Oh, so the law already applies, because I thought the law was still being held
The law has applied for decades.
ever. Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay, because they made it sound like the 600 was something new.
it's not. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay,
that's that's been my what I've been trying to get out there is, everybody's like 20,000, but that doesn't mean that they have to. They don't have to send. I like the IRS is not requiring them to yet, but it's coming. And so in a lot of cases, these platforms have, because they thought they had to do it last year, already put the things in place.
got
So a
it.
lot of people, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people got 1099s last year, even when they were under $20,000, but they were already over the 600. So,
Got it. Got it. I have a question for you, just random question out of the blue. So my mom sold her house.
okay.
She had me on title for in case, God forbid something happened to her when she passed. We did not know that having me on title wasn't the proper way of doing that. So whatever, long story short, she sold the house. The house has already been sold. She's moving out Friday. My question is, if I had to sign on paperwork, do I have to claim, like, do I have to show that that house was sold on my taxes, or it's not something I need to worry about?
Was it sold last year or this year?
The sale went through this year.
Okay, so we won't have to worry about it till next year. One. Two, it depends on how, because it depends on how it gets reported. So if the sale gets reported that your mother received all of the money and you didn't receive any, then you won't have to file
Okay, the
anything.
only reason I'm asking is because at the real estate office, when once we were doing all the paperwork,
Mhm.
the company that was buying, or not the company, but the people that were buying the house, I was told I had to sign a paper because they wanted to give me half the money, deposit half the money in my account and half the money in her account because it was under both of our names. And I told them I don't care for the money. It's not my money. It's her money. It's not my money. So they made me sign a paper showing that I'm okay with everything being deposited into her account. I'm
Good.
just curious. Yeah. I did sign that paper, but my question is, does that affect me in any way, shape, or form from a tax standpoint?
From a tax standpoint, that should mean that she will get the 1099 for the money that she received for the house, and you shouldn't get any.
So I was reading on that, and I was wondering, anything above 250,000 in Florida is not taxed, or excuse me, anything below 250,000 is not taxable. Am I correct on that?
Florida, Florida.
Correct, correct,
That's
because we're in
state.
Florida.
You're not talking about, you're only thinking about the state portion. You're not thinking about the federal portion.
So there is a federal portion that needs to be considered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
And
Well, I'll
and
let.
and it matters what your tax basis is in the house. And again, if you don't get a 1099, then there's nothing to worry about.
Okay,
So
perfect.
you just reach out to them now and just confirm that the 1099, because even though your mother had you on there, you signed a form stating that you were not getting any of the money. And so just double check that the 1099 will go just to her. She'll have to deal with that next year, and you shouldn't have to.
Okay, perfect. All
And
right.
if
Well,
you do,
listen.
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, awesome. Um, I don't want to keep you. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go ship some stuff, and I will talk to you soon. I will purchase that sheet and get started on it ASAP and get that done hopefully by the end of the week, so that way we can
Fantastic.
move forward. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy I was able to talk to you, and we'll be
This
talking
is
again soon.
actually, it actually was fortuitous because I've had a bunch of people asking me questions about what do I do about the same sort of situation that you were. So now I can just say, hey, go listen. We did an impromptu chat on in the healthy chat, and all the information is there. So
Fantastic. I'm glad I could help a little bit.
yep.
And again, thank you so much for all your help. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Danny. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Roberto, yes, I did my stretching. I did my stretching this morning in the shower. It helps when I get up in the morning if I stretch under the hot water. So yeah, I did that. Tom says, got that right. Lady who does my yearly taxes just sends me a bill and never goes over anything. Cheryl answers any and all questions. Thank you, Tom. Oh, great. Yay. I am glad that you got something out of that. I mean, I feel pretty good about having stayed on here and done that this morning because, like I said, I had quite a few people over the weekend sending me messages saying, you know, hey, I haven't been on your calls. I don't know. I'm not listening or whatever. And I need to know what to do. So now we know. Now we all know. We've got the call in the books. So that being said, great. I'm glad that you got lots of gold out of that. And just keep watching out for messages. If you did not get an email about moving from Gumroot over to Thrivecart from me, shoot me a message. I need your email. We'll get you set up. We'll get everybody. I'm not going to leave anybody hanging. Okay. I promise. So, all right. That being said, I have been on here for over an hour. This was never supposed to be more than 30 minutes. So that's okay. We're almost to knocking those taxes out. So that's okay. We're all going to get through it together. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right. Probably somewhere around 9:30 to 10. And we'll keep it nice and short and sweet, 9:30 to 10. And then if 9:30 to 10 doesn't work for you guys, you need to let me know. I mean, I'm trying to, the most that I will do is I'll go from 10 to 10:30 if, so. All right. I appreciate all of you that have been watching, and I hope everyone got a nugget out of today's call. Go stretch, get up, take a walk away from your desk, go pet your puppies, drink some water. Thank you, Tom. Drink some water, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.